Well, good afternoon and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you what I did for laying out my floor joists for the model cabin build. Remember, this is an 18 by 22 inch cabin. I made a mistake on one of my other videos. I'm actually going to be building an 18 by 22 foot cabin on my property this summer. I'm going to start it, but on one of my other videos I said that I was going to be building an 18 by 22 inch cabin on my property. So that was, I don't know if anybody caught that, but that was no, I won't be building that small of a cabin on my property. But anyway, I just thought I'd correct that. So we're at the floor joist process here, and I'll show you what I did to lay out the lines on my sill logs. Okay, so remember the sill logs, these three here, I got those all level, and even though they're pretty much the same size log, the you know, they're not perfect. You know, logs are not perfect. But if you have a starting point, which I do, which is this foundation down here, you can measure up from the foundation whatever distance that you want, and then you can make a mark along this here like so. And then what you do is, you know, depending on how deep you want to go into your logs there, you know, because you've got to notch these out for your floor joist logs. And then you just, you know, connect the dots there, and what I did was I just connected the dots and ran this line here all the way down the log there. And that line right there is similar to a scribe line. I don't want to go beyond that line very far. You know, if you do happen to go past it, you know, a little bit, you can always shim things later to get them back where you want them to be level. But I tried really hard not to go too far past the line there. I kind of I tried to stay right at the bottom edge of it on all of my logs here. And over here you can see the same thing. I've got this line over here on the middle log. And on the middle log, you'll draw two lines because you've got to notch that whole section out, because the log's going to pass through that and sit on that, so it doesn't sit on the crown. Over here on your wall logs, you know, the log is actually going to be sitting on this crown here. So you only want to go in, you don't want to go in any further than about midway down the log on the top there. So I determined that as well. I measured across, you know, I measured across the log, and I determined what the measurement was, and then I just divided it in half and made a mark, and then I determined this line right here, which is where I don't want to notch in beyond that point, because then you're notching, you know, over into your log, and then there's going to be a big gap here on the outside wall, and you don't want that. So on the sidewall logs, you just notch in to about midway, or a little less than midway is fine too, depending on the size of your log and all that. And I did the same thing over here on this side, as you can see. And then again, this middle log here, you go ahead and cut out the entire section. And then what I did was, it just so happened that the size of this cabin. I have this little level here, and it fit perfect for me to be able to put this down in there and you know, find out if I'm level or not going across. And as you can see, the level bubble there, it's pretty good. So that means that, you know, from this side of the cabin to that side of the cabin and in the center, when I put a floor joist down, a log down, or whatever I decide to do, I may mill some wood. I'm thinking about buying one of those band saws and milling my own lumber, but I haven't quite determined that yet. But whatever I use in there needs to be able to span across the floor there and be as level as possible, because that's what you're going to be walking on. And so that's how I did that. And you know, of course you're not going to have a level that long to be able to do that, but you know, you could do the same thing as, you know, once you get your log in there, you could, you know, you could get one in there and put it in place and then level from there. So I'll show you what I did here. This is going to replicate a chainsaw. It's this little saw here. And what I did was, so I have my little line here, which is the midway point. I don't want to go past that. So and I marked these out evenly across, you know, these notches evenly across the they're about in real life they'd be about 2 feet apart or so. But I went ahead and I cut in, and being very careful not to go beyond that line down there. Okay, I'm almost about to it there. And then up here on top, I don't want to go beyond that midway, or else my gap, it's going to be over here, and we don't want that. So I was real careful there. So I made those cuts like that on this sill log. And like I say, when I get up to my property, I'll be using a chainsaw for this here, but I didn't want to use a chainsaw on this model here. Get a little messy, if you know what I mean. But you know, as I was going through this process, I realized that this is really realistic, how it would kind of be on a real 18 by 22 foot cabin up on my property. This process is really similar. And the time that it takes to do all this stuff on this little model, I'm finding out it's not a fast process. You know, it's you got to take your time, and you got to measure carefully, and then go to work. And as you'll see here, I don't know how long this video is going to end up being, but I wanted to show you this process all the way across. So now I'm in the middle here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to saw, and I'm going to be real careful and watch my lines that I drew on my log. And I don't want to go any deeper than that. Otherwise, one of my logs is going to be too deep, and it won't be level with the rest of them. But again, if you do end up going too deep or something, you know, you can always shim it. But, you know, the less shims you have to use, the better. Okay, so I've got that side there about right. I wish I had a more solid table. This coffee table or TV tray is kind of not very stable, but it's working. It's worked okay. Coming over here on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go down to this inside line. I just did 3 cuts on these. I'd probably do more relief cuts with a chainsaw, but I found that for this application it worked fine. When I go to chip them out, you'll see what I'm talking about. You just got to be real careful. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to come over here and finish this last one here, and then we'll get to chipping. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to get back over here and show you the notching process. So I got this little chisel here. I found that this one here works pretty good. Let's see, I'd say this one's about, it's a 1/2 inch across there, and I went out and sharpened it, and it's been cutting pretty good. It gouges pretty good too. So first thing you want to do is, with the flat edge of this on your line up here, because you don't want to go beyond this line, you don't want your wood to split out on you, you know. So you're going to cut a line there. And then you'll cut another one over here. And that's so your wood doesn't split out on you when you start chipping it. And then I went ahead and got these sides too, like that. So this is similar, something similar you would do when you get out to the job site on the real build. Okay, and then I just started chipping this stuff out, like so. And you know, go at it kind of slow. There's no real big hurry to it. You don't want to split out all your wood. Okay, like that there. And then you see this line. I've been going down to the bottom edge of the line down here on all these. So I'll just take this here and I'll go ahead and do this number here and go right to the bottom edge of that line there. Okay, so now that I've got that established, that notched area there, then I just continue to chip it out. Okay, and now since I know this is the level point right here, I'm going to come in here like this, and I'm going to go across there like that. See that? And then it stays nice and level across as you chip her out. Yeah. Okay. And then, so you don't chip out the rest of your wood, just keep going down with your chisel. Till you get that out. And then just keep coming across. You can remove the wood. Okay, like that. Okay, now that's almost level there, but not quite. So I'm going to clean this out a little bit. And you know, you can do a lot by eye. You can kind of see if it's level or not. You can get a real close eye on this and okay, so that's pretty level right there for this one. Okay. Now on this other one over here in the middle, so I'll just show you the one side for today. And we'll take this one out too. So this is the same process, but you got to go and take out all of it. Got to take that crown off. Got to go down. It's high in the middle, so we got to keep going down a bit. Alright, so we're getting down close now. So now I don't want to go too deep, because again, I don't want to shim that. So I'm going to go down to my line here. Okay, I'm there at the line. I'm going to go real careful. Alright, so that's about all there is to it. This is almost level here. And so I'll be doing something similar to this process on the real cabin this summer. But I'm learning a lot here about this. Okay? And then, so I'll finish that one later. I'm not going to bore you with doing that other one, but you know, get you a a log or a piece of timber or lumber that goes across this span, and then check all of your points and make sure they're level or as close as possible. And that's really all there is to it. Alright, thanks for watching. Welcome back. So I went out, well, what I decided to do is mill my my floor joists. So I've got them here. I've got them in place, and they all fit real nice. Got the level on there, and it's real good there, all the way across, and all the logs are sitting on that, or that's sitting on all the logs there. It's level. So what I decided to do was, so I'm going to go ahead and follow the curvature, because right now these, if I were to put a wall log on there, these would be bumping the wall log. Okay, it'd be sitting up. Now I'm chinking the cabin, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I just, I had a different idea for that, to get these down. And you'll notice here on this one, on joist number 2, I marked them all, because these notches that I chiseled out, they're all a little bit different. So I've got everything level right now, so I wanted to go ahead and just keep the floor joists in the same place that they came out of. So what I did here with this one, you'll notice this one here is a little bit different than the other ones. That's because originally this was like that, like the rest of them, sitting up like that, all level. But what I decided to do was I decided to follow the curvature of the log and mark these like this, and then on the back side, okay. Maybe I'll go over here and show you on this one. So I decided to do this number here and follow the curvature of the log around, and then on the back side here, same thing. And then what I did was I did that to this one here, and I took it out side and I put it in the vise, and you can see the curvature here on the ends. I went ahead and used my coping saw, and I followed that line on both ends, and then what I did, and then this way I don't have to cut anything out of the center of this. I just flipped it over like that and put it back in place, and now I'm down level here, exactly level. And the nice thing about this curvature here that I cut out, it's going to follow pretty much the next log that sits on top of it, okay, because the log is round, so it's gonna fit right in there, and so all these nubs will be out of the way. And I've still got plenty of meat on that. And then when I get my wall log on, then on the inside, I'll put my my flooring. I'm going to mill my flooring also, and put some real strong boards on top of this, and probably just use that for a while as flooring, and see how that works out. But that's what I'm doing right now, is what I just showed you there, and it seems to work real good. And so that's what I wanted to show you, just to give you an idea of how I did the floor joist system on this cabin. Okay, thank you.